Good morning. My name is Antonio García Vinuesa. I hold a PhD in education from the University of Santiago de Compostela, and I currently work as a member of the Social Pedagogy and Environmental Education Research Group, known as CEPA Interea. One of our key research areas focuses on climate change education, and the study I am presenting today is framed in this research line. Today, I'll be introducing you to the initial steps of my postdoctoral research funded by the Government of Galicia. In the upcoming minutes, I will be presenting the protocol followed for conducting a systematic review and its preliminary results, covering bibliometric and methodological aspects. Thank you for joining this presentation. As I mentioned previously, this research is situated within the field of climate change education, aiming to explore the perceptions, the knowledge, the representation of secondary education teachers regarding climate change as an educational topic. To begin this study, my primary focus was on understanding the current state of the field on climate change education for secondary education teachers. I delve into what has been previously investigated, identifying the researchers and institutions involved in exploring this topic and examining these approaches used in these studies. Now, let's dive into the details of my research. Here, I will outline the main points that I'll be covering during this presentation. Firstly, I will provide insights into the rationale supporting the opportunity and relevance of conducting this research. I'll shed light on why this study is timely and important, setting the stage for the research question that the study aims to address. Next, I will delve into the protocol employed for this research by presenting the methods. The protocol follows the PRISMA statement, adapted specifically for the educational field. To conclude, I'll share some preliminary findings and draw initial conclusions based on the research. Please note that for the sake of brevity during this presentation, I won't be citing specific references. However, you'll find a comprehensive list of the references at the end of the presentation. Now, let's delve into the details of each of these steps. It is important to explain why it makes sense to do a systematic review. In this case, we are looking at climate change education, a topic that has gained a lot of scientific interest in the past decade. As a result, since 2017, 5 scientific journals have dedicated special issues to climate change education. On the other hand, the PRISMA statement advises us to explore existing reviews and meta-analysis on similar topics. In the current study, I've identified at least 8 reviews that underpin the interest and significance of the review I am presenting. Among these, some reviews delve into issues related to student knowledge, attitude, perceptions, or behaviors. Others aim to explore effective educational interventions and teaching practices, or focus on professional development for climate change education. But no one of these has secondary education teachers as the main population. Once the rationale supports the convenience of conducting this review, 2 questions will be answered in this presentation. First, what is the bibliometric landscape regarding teachers' perspectives on climate change? And second, what methodological approaches have been used to explore the topic? There is a third question regarding a thematic analysis in which 3 categories have emerged: teachers' knowledge of climate change, teaching climate change in secondary education, and climate change as an educational issue. The final findings will be shared as soon as the study is published. In order to respond to the first 2 research questions, the following methodology has been conducted. As mentioned earlier, The methodology adheres to the PRISMA statement of 2020, and the process is supported by Kadima, a freely available web tool designed to facilitate and ensure the systematic documentation of reviews. The Kadima website is currently under development as a part of European Union funded projects aiming to improve public access to information and data from ongoing and future projects. It supports each step of the review process and helps meet the criteria outlined in the PRISMA guidelines. To begin with, I established 5 eligibility criteria to identify potential documents for inclusion. The first 3 criteria address a PAT question, which stands for Population, Middle and High School Teachers, issue related to climate change education, and target outcomes focusing on the comprehension of climate change. The last 2 criteria address biases in the review, specifically concerning the type of documents accepted. Only published articles will be considered, and there is a language bias. Articles must be written in English, Spanish, or Portuguese. With the eligibility criteria in place, the next step is selecting the databases. For this study, I choose Web of Science and Scopus, 2 databases that index a majority of educational journals. Following the series of different algorithms, the final search string used is displayed on this slide. As mentioned previously, I employed the free web tool Kadima. In this phase, 2 colleagues collaborated to refine the eligibility criteria. It took 3 rounds to attain an excellent kappa index, indicating a high level of consistency between the reviewers. For the analysis of the compiled studies, 2 primary categories were established, encompassing bibliometric variables and methodological items. Concerning potential biases inherent in any review, the 2 main biases considered were language and publication biases. In the flowchart presented, the steps followed during the selection process and the outcomes of each step are illustrated. Initially, I imported the records obtained by applying the search string in both databases. A total of 611 documents were initially included after merging the results. With the assistance of Kadima, an automatic duplicate removal was carried out, followed by a manual duplicate removal. This process identified and removed duplicates, resulting in 415 unique documents. Additionally, 1 more study was incorporated from the reference list of similar reviews. Subsequently, the eligibility criteria were applied to the abstracts of the documents. Following this, 172 documents met the criteria and underwent thorough analysis through deep reading. As a result, a total of 40 articles were included in the review and analyzed based on the established categories, which I will delve into further in the next slides. In this set of 40 studies, a total of 90 researchers have contributed as authors, representing 54 different institutions. The majority of these institutions are universities. Noteworthy, there were 15 instances of collaborations between universities within the same country, 4 instances of international collaborations, and 21 studies where authored by individuals from the same institutions. Of particular interest is the involvement of 2 researchers who each authored 3 studies: Alan Feldman, affiliated with the University of South Florida, and A. Lee Hanna from Wright State University, demonstrated notable contributions. Furthermore, 11 authors have published 2 works each, focusing on climate change education and secondary education teachers. In the field of publishing, the 40 studies were distributed across 26 different journals, underscoring the significant presence of two renowned journals in the field of environmental education research, and international research in geographical and environmental education, each contributing five publications. Following closely are the Electronic Journal of Studies in the Tropics, International Journal of Science Education, and Journal of Geoscience Education, each having published three articles. In addition, Climate Change and International Journal of Climate Change Strategies and Management each have two publications. 19 other journals have featured one article each in this comprehensive collection. Turning our attention to the methodological aspects of the identified studies, a comprehensive analysis reveals the participation of a total of 12,286 secondary education teachers hailing from 18 different countries. Notably, teachers from the United States have been prominently featured, playing a central role in 21 out of the 40 studies and contributing to a significant portion of the sample with over 8,000 teachers. Furthermore, teachers from South Africa have actively participated in tree research, while those from Australia, Nigeria, Singapore, and United Kingdom have contributed to two studies each. This diverse international representation enriches the scope of the sample and adds depth to our understanding of secondary education across different global contexts. The methodological framework within the review sample is characterized by a balanced mix of approaches. Specifically, I identified 15 studies employing a quantitative methodology, 14 utilizing qualitative research methods, and 11 studies where authors employed a mixed methods approach. This variety in methodological designs enhances the comprehensiveness of our analysis and provides a well-rounded perspective on the research landscape. In this slide, I will outline the various research types and instruments employed across the studies. Conducting this analysis proved complex, as authors often use diverse terminology to describe research types, making it challenging to categorize by methods, techniques, types, or approaches, among other terms. For consistency, I have adopted the terminology found in the manuscripts. Taking this into consideration, a diverse array of research approaches emerges. However, it is noteworthy that the majority of studies tend to employ survey and case study as their primary methods, while utilizing questionnaires and focus groups as the principal research techniques. The preliminary findings obtained in this systematic review focus on climate change education and secondary education teachers have led to four main conclusions. Firstly, despite the language bias mentioned, the majority of the studies were conducted in the United States. This highlights the opportunity to design and conduct studies in other locations such as Europe and Latin America, where there is a noticeable gap in addressing this crucial educational concern. Teachers play a crucial role in promoting and educating young citizens to address the challenges and perils posed by climate change. Investigating their perspectives on the issue, their approaches to understanding and teaching it, and the significance they attribute to climate change education are essential aspects to explore in order to create effective educational proposals. Secondly, the richness of the methodological designs already employed in the field, along with the outcome of these studies, facilitates the design of future research, in different locations. This offers the chance to replicate studies that align with our context or to propose new perspectives to deepen our understanding of the subject. Thirdly, the long tradition of environmental education research opens doors to numerous possibilities for publishing our work. There are publications on this topic in 26 different journals and publishers. Lastly, it is highly recommended to conduct systematic or scoping reviews as a first step when initiating a new research project. As seen in our exploration, this approach provides a comprehensive view of how the topic has been researched. Additionally, it offers information about institutions, research groups, and researchers working in your chosen research line, potentially serving as the starting point for valuable collaborations. As mentioned earlier, these are the references that underpin the content of this presentation. I look forward to sharing the comprehensive list of 40 identified studies and the ultimate findings of this review soon. So, thank you for your attention and I wish you a nice day.